All right, so let's make our cradle for our washers, and you will do this for 1 washer and up to 8 washers. Okay, so the way you do it, and we're going to have to zoom in a little bit just because this can be a little bit tricky. You're going to take your rubber band and you're going to feed it through your washer, and you're going to make it look like this. Then you're going to take one end of the rubber band, well actually, yeah, take one end of the rubber band and you're going to pull it to where it looks like this.
Try to do that one more time, Miss
Okay,
Leslie.
here it goes. Okay, now you guys make all these crazy bracelets now, so you guys probably have a really good idea of doing this, but you have it like this. You're going to take this end and feed it through the center of the other side of the rubber band, like this.
And there's the cradle.
Okay, now
Kind of looks like a necklace.
Yeah, it does. And see, this is actually how a lot of your bracelets look, guys.
Yeah, it's probably like your new bling bling.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're going to take this end of the rubber band and you're going to suspend that from your paper clip. Now, I would kind of pull the paper clip a little bit together, a little bit like that, and you're going to dangle this, and it's going to touch the floor, and that's okay. All right? Now, we are ready to see if our motor is going to pick up this 1 washer. And so now the switch operator, everybody's going to say, everybody okay? Okay. And then when everybody's ready, you want to make sure that you stand back a little bit. You do not want to have your face right here where the action is, because you'll get hit in the face. And that's not so bad with 1 washer. But when you have 8, what will happen is that when those 8 washers, and we'll go ahead and, before I do that, let's just show you, put it in action here. Let's show you what it looks like. And I have to kind of stand in front of it. Now, notice that I put the switch down, and uh-oh, it's not really working. Sometimes you have to squeeze the battery box together to where the terminals make a better connection. Let's see if that works. Now, Miss Massey, I don't know if you can see
we can see
very closely. Okay, but it is picking it up. Okay, and you can see it spinning a little bit.
We can see it spinning.
Okay. And now, I went up a little bit higher because I really wasn't measuring, but someone needs to watch in your group and say, okay, we're at 1 meter, and then the switch operator is going to go flip, and they're going to flip this in the off position. So you can see right here that I've lifted my washer the 1 meter. So that's successful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove our cradle, and now we're going to add 2 washers. So our goal is to figure out how many total washers can that 1 battery lift. Okay, so we're going to make our cradle one more time. You're going to take the rubber band, feed it through like this. Take one side and feed it through the center of the other. And so here's our cradle. Now, this is important because this rubber band keeps the washers together, so if the string breaks and it falls to the floor, these washers will not fly around the room. They'll drop to the floor and hopefully stay together. Okay? So I'm going to put this, I'm going to unwind my string. Now, this is another troubleshooting thing. Try to very gently unwind it, and you can see that that worked for me. But sometimes the string will get caught up right there at the edge where the motor meets the motor pulley, and you may have to call for your teacher to assist you. Okay? If that happens, if you cannot remove the string, don't pull on it because you're going to break it. Ask your teacher to come over and to help you, and she can fix it for you.
And the teacher removes it. If the teacher has to remove it, she does it with a very adult pair of scissors, and it's a dangerous removal.
Right.
Children should not be removing it.
That's right. You can really slice your hand up. So that's definitely something that adults do. And I'm going to take the rubber band and place it back onto my paper clip, and we're going to do this again. Now, let's talk about hazards for just a minute. Let's just imagine that we've got, well, we're going to use our 2. Let's imagine you've got the 8 washers on here, okay? That's a pretty good amount of weight. While we're lifting this up, what has happened in the past, what can happen, is when it gets up to about here, sometimes the knot can come undone and the washers will fall. Sometimes the string will break. Sometimes the tape up here comes disconnected. Okay? Lots of things happen. And what can happen as a result of several things. The washers can drop to the floor and scatter, but sometimes what can happen is that this paper clip will bend, and you can see the sharp point, and what can happen is that this thing will whip around like a ninja star, and if your face is right here, this paper clip will slice you, and so that is a very big hazard. It's pretty cool to look at, but it is very dangerous. We've got to make sure that we prepare for that. Keep your faces back from the motor. The switch operator is going to be standing on this side, and they are always ready when that happens to turn the switch off so that it stops. Now, the other thing too is that this paper clip whips around so quickly that it looks like a blur. It's sometimes hard to see it. So everybody in your group has to be prepared. When you see something happening, we need to react quickly to solve that situation so that no one gets hurt. Okay? So I think that kind of takes us through the actual lab. Let's go back to our worksheet and just make sure that we kind of know what to fill in. The total number of washers means how many total washers were able to be lifted to the 1 meter mark. The force in newtons to lift the washers. So let's, for example, say that this one battery was able to lift 7 washers. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 7 washers, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to make my cradle again, like this. And then, but this time what I'm going to do is suspend it from my 10 Newton scale for my spring scale. I'm going to make sure I calibrate it vertically, and right now it's not calibrated. I can see that the little red mark is off of the 0, so I'm going to calibrate it really quick. So now it's calibrated, and I'm going to suspend the rubber band from the spring scale. You might need a buddy to do this. Okay? And what I'm going to do is to measure the force and put that in my chart. Okay? Now, for the distance is going to be very easy to calculate. You could right now on your sheet go ahead and write 1 meter for all the way down that column. 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. Because we have represented it here. We know that's 1 meter, and that's how high we're lifting each time that we do this. We're lifting at 1 meter, so that will be pretty easy. Now, the amount of work. I wonder if you remember how to calculate work. So we'll see. All right, that's it for this lab. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Be safe. Have a lot of fun. Represent Forest Brook Middle School well for Palmetto's Finest on Monday.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.